All right, hey, welcome to the Eagles Nation Coaches Show here on SHN Sports YouTube. I'm your host, Carl Schoening. We're going to get started here in just a few moments, but if you're in Georgetown, come on out to George's on the Town. We're out at the patio. It's a lovely evening. Got some great specials out here going on. Looking forward to seeing you out here. We're out here every Wednesday during the season, and yeah, we'll be getting rolling here anytime shortly. So stay tuned. We'll be back here on Eagles Coaches Show in a moment. Wow, that was loud. How are y'all doing this evening? Is that a little better? Sorry about that one. This is a little first rule in audio engineering as we go ahead and still no, now it's not loud enough, huh? Can't hear me? All right, so go ahead and turn it up just a touch. Is that better? How y'all doing back there? Can y'all hear us back there? Didn't blow out your ears? Woke y'all up? I'm sorry about that. Hi, I'm Carl Schoening. I'm your host this evening for the Eagle Nation's Coaches Show here, the first one at George's on the Town. Happy you guys are out here. How about that win last week, huh? Yeah, what a comeback. That second half was something to see. Made the first half, the first half made the second half much more exciting as the Eagles defeated the Belton Tigers up there, 6A school with quite great facilities, gracious hosts, and I thought y'all were kind of rude guests to come back on them like that to make them such a think they had a chance and then all of a sudden shut them out in the second half and then proceed to score, 29 unanswered. Final score 36-27. The Eagles with just one of the best comebacks I've ever seen. Definitely will rank up there all time. And, hey, it's going to be another good week here as Copper's Cove comes into town. And they are coming back. They're trying to get their first win of the season as they fell last week to Waxahachie 34-7. But that doesn't mean the Eagles will take them lightly, obviously. And as we get this non-district rolling, we'll get this show started here in just a little bit. Happy you guys came on out, and happy you guys are watching on YouTube for those of y'all watching. So keep
Jeff from Hewlett Volkswagen in Georgetown. You probably know Hewlett for our true story pricing and great customer service. But now, you'll also know us for our new Express shopping tool. It's 100% online, 100% easy, and 100% awesome. Build your dream car or just find the one you want. Get instant pricing and get instantly.
All right, we're back here at George's on the Town, joined now by head coach Chuck Griffin. And Coach Griffin, after just probably the longest offseason of your life, what a first game to come back to.
Yeah, it was an exciting game. I think we made it a little bit more exciting than it needed to be. But, I was proud of our kids' resilience and just keep fighting and keep doing what they're supposed to do.
So I imagine y'all had film session as usual the next day. How tough was that first half to watch, and how fun was the second half? Because I'm sure there's a lot to learn from both. But
sure.
What's the kind of tone when you say, okay, we got to watch the first 30 minutes of this game?
Right. Well, I don't think you can dwell on it too much. You have to move on. You have to correct the mistakes. You got to point those out as always. But you also got to point out theirs that we're doing well and how we're growing and what we got to do to get better.
And I think that there were a lot of things that are pretty easy to fix on that first half. But was there anything? That's always the key.
4 times. That's key.
Yeah, and I think that the main thing to take away from that game was just how good your defense looked. And I know that was probably your biggest question mark, trying to replace a lot of players in that starting lineup.
Yeah, absolutely. We're really, really concerned about up front, just having 5 brand new guys playing in our front 6, and I thought they did well. Defensively, they kept us in the game. It really could have easily been 45 to nothing at halftime instead of 27-7. So they kept us in the game, and our offense really at times was looking pretty good in the first half. We just kind of made a few mistakes and some special teams mistakes, but everything kind of started clicking in the second half, and that was just a tribute to the kids.
And you go ahead and attribute the kids. We were curious up in the booth what you could say at halftime and what you did say in the locker room.
I didn't tell them a whole lot. The biggest thing was don't panic. That was the biggest thing is don't panic. We're in good shape if we'll quit turning the ball over. And we're doing a lot of good things. So it was just stressing those things that we were doing well. We made a few adjustments, not many. It was more just about, we talk about it all the time. It's all about us, and it's not about them. It's about us and what we do and how we control and doing the little things correctly. And that's what we focused on at halftime. It's just doing the little things correctly, making sure we're assignment correct, make sure we're taking care of the football. That's the main thing, right? The ball. You got to get it or you got to have it. So just those kind of things were what we talked about at halftime.
And there in that second half, probably one of the most fun second halves you've probably had coaching. You opened up the playbook a bit, and how much does maybe that kind of lead into the players having a little bit more fun when you throw in a couple trick plays and things like that?
Well, we always have a couple of those in our pocket, and part of that's just trying to, we used one in the first half that actually led to a touchdown. So it's a couple of those things you just got to do to make sure, hey, we're okay, and to get our kids to understand that everything's all right if we'll just do what we're supposed to do. So, yeah, it's fun to do that. Anytime you do little trick stuff, kids love it. They have a good time with that. So,
and that defense really did play phenomenal in the second half. Were there any adjustments that you guys made? I know you traditionally in the past have run sort of that 3-3 stack, but we were seeing a lot of 4-down linemen.
Yeah, the biggest thing is we just changed up what we were doing defensively and gave them a couple of different looks instead of lining up. We were having some edge issues in the first half and being able to get to the edge. Part of that is we rely on our secondary for a lot of that, but they've been doing 7-on-7 for 4 months. They haven't been going against a run offense. So there were some adjustments we had to make it in the second half for that, but they did well.
And how much of that plays into because of Jimenez, the quarterback for Belton, being such a dual threat, especially with his feet?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he was definitely a threat with his feet, and just smart, senior, heady quarterback that knew what to do and knew when to pull it, knew when to run, knew when to throw it. It did a really good job. So.
When you guys have to deal with that and you look into sort of the more traditional quarterbacks, do you sort of change what you do defensively, or does that mean something that you change every week?
We change it every week. Every week we have to look at what the defenses or what the offenses are doing, how they're developing and what they do well, and try to defend those things, that they do well. So it changes from week to week.
Moving on to this week's opponent, Coppers Cove. What do you know about them?
They're an extremely athletic team. They're another 6A football team. They've got an inside linebacker, Kendall Parker, who does a really good job fitting up. And they got a safety who's probably their best player, Jalen Jones, on defense. They force a lot of stuff to him to make tackles, and their nose guard is pretty good. kind of the theory of you got to be good down the middle, doesn't matter what sport you play, and that's what they are. I mean, their nose guard is good, their middle linebacker is good, and their safety is good. That's nose guard is Jeremy Carter. Offensively, they're playing a couple of different quarterbacks. They've got a senior and a junior both playing a good bit. They're not huge differences. It's not like they have a runner and a passer. They both do, pretty balanced in what they do well. They got a mountain of a man. They've got a Rictavius Moore, 6'8", 360 offensive lineman. So those are that's remnants of the Foster kid, that we had to play the last game last year. They're a good football team. They like to run the football. We're on stop the run again this week, and they try to be really aggressive defensively, keep 7 in the box to make it difficult to run. So trying to figure out how to add some gaps and run the football a little bit is going to be important for us this week.
I imagine that's going to be a big challenge, obviously, to make sure that the team starts off well, because you have a couple things that go against you. Obviously, a little bit of a slow start last week,
Sure.
And then this team lost 34-7 against Waxahachie. So
Yeah.
I'm sure you don't really look too much into that, but is there ever just a call to attention to bring kids back to, treat every opponent with the same level of respect?
That's what you got to do every week. I mean, it's always you got to go 1-0. It's never, hey, we're getting ready for Cedar Park or we're getting ready for Manor. You can't think that far ahead. You always have to take 1 week at a time. And we talked a little bit about today. We're going to talk more this week, about taking care of the small things and being faithful in the small things. If you're, that's where your strength is. If you're faithful in the small things, then everything else will come into play. And that was kind of our message at halftime. That was kind of our message all week is if we'll take care of the little things, the big things will take care of themselves.
You have the home opener at Birkelback Field, and it's parents' night, so
Yeah.
all the parents in attendance make some noise.
Yeah.
Any parents out here ready for parents' night on Friday? Yeah, well, just talk about being a football player's parent and all the that goes into that.
It's a lot. We have tremendous parents at Georgetown. That's one of the great things about our community. Just the support we have for our schools and the support we have for our athletic programs. Our booster club and our parents do a tremendous job of supporting us and helping us out with things around the field house and things we need and making a Georgetown Eagle something special. Our parents, they buy into that and they do a great job of that. And we're fortunate to have them. We're fortunate to have a bunch of them there this weekend. It's always something parents figure out, man. It is not only a big commitment for the young man to play football, it's also a big commitment for the parents. There's a lot of time, a lot of energy that goes into being a football player, and parents have to deal with that too. So.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you coming out here. The first show here at George's on the Town. We thank you for your time. And any final thoughts before we move on to the next segment?
No, you guys come out Friday and wear blue. Come early and be loud, wear a mask, and stay late. We'll see y'all.
Yeah, one last question in case you know, because I'm not as sure. When do the festivities of sorts begin for the parent night?
Parent night starts at 6:30. For us, it begins with the cheerleaders around 6:15. It'll be the cheerleaders, and then you'll have the trainers and the managers, and then the football players. Yeah.
Awesome. And one last thing before I let you go. The managers and the cheerleaders, they're just as big part of the
huge.
team as everybody. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's huge. They do lots of hours. Our cheerleaders in camp all summer long, traveling and going to things like that. And then our athletic trainers, we have a number of them. Chad Hennessy does a great job with organizing that and making sure we have water, making sure we have trainers. And, just even getting us ready for a game is a huge undertaking. And watching what they do. And then our managers, we got 4 or 5 managers that are, they're up there just as much as the kids, filming and doing laundry and putting up clothes and all those kind of things. And it's really kind of thankless, a thankless job. We try to make sure our kids treat all of those individuals with respect and because it's not as special being a Georgetown football player if you don't have all those things, So having all those things makes it special to be a football player at Georgetown.
Awesome. Well, thanks for your time. And,
thanks, Carl.
hey, keep it tuned in here. We're going to have interviews with some players, and we're also going to get with Booster Club updates. So stay with us here on the Eagle Nation's Coaches Show on SHN Sports.
Team Hewlett, the season is here. Beyond this wall are customers in need of transportation and adventure. Now, we've trained hard studied every detail. And today's the day we change lives and give our customers the great American dream of the open road. Who's with me? We are Hewlett! We are Hewlett! We are Hewlett!
Find new roads in Georgetown and at DonHewlett.com. Don Hewlett, Texas True.
That's Texas True right there.
All right, welcome back to George's on the Town. We're now here with, in my opinion, the offensive player of the week last week against the Belton Tigers, Ryan Eady. And we didn't know it was you, Ryan. We have to apologize right now. Right before the game, we found out that there was a hole that might not be able to be repaired if it went through a game of tackle football. Yes. So you were 46 on the field. But before we get into the game, is there a reason you picked 23 or anything along those numbers?
Not really. It's just number in the 20s, so I chose that and stuck with it.
And then game time, you just went with 46, and that didn't seem to affect your play. But are you one of those superstitious guys that is
Not
maybe
really.
no 46 the rest of the way? Trade with Bryson?
No, not right now.
No. Well, you obviously have to give a lot of credit to your offensive line when you have a good game like that.
Yes.
But how much is that difficult when you didn't have a normal summer of preparing with your offensive line and they didn't have the same thing to work with?
No, we've kind of had that bond because I've been with most of these guys for years now, and so we kind of all have each other's backs and stuff, and so it was we were all on the same page for the most part. So,
what are the main things that you need to have to be a successful running back?
You got to be able to see the field and stuff and trust your blocks, because sometimes the hole may look clogged or something, but your linemen are coming and they'll open it up for you, so you just got to wait and be patient.
Now entering your senior year, what kind of goals do you have?
We want to get to state and maybe and win district and stuff, but individual goals is just help the team and I guess rush for a lot of yards, but no huge goals.
What's been the hardest part of this unusual year that we have?
Just adjusting to can't be around each other as often as we normally would in the past years and stuff. So adjusting to that and wearing masks all the time, it's just, we had to change a few things, but we're working through it.
I couldn't quite see, but did y'all have to have masks on while you played on the field?
Not while we played, but on the sideline we did.
Sure. Does that maybe make a little bit of a difference when you have to maybe catch your breath on the sideline, but you're able to take it off when you get off there?
Yeah, it's a little tougher, but we've been wearing them for all summer, so we've kind of gotten used to it.
Have you noticed any difference in maybe your lung capacity or how quickly you're able to recover with your oxygen since you've been wearing a mask and playing in a mask for so long? It probably increases those muscles. Have you noticed any of that?
Not really. I haven't noticed much.
That's maybe a sports science myth of sorts. People were wearing masks while working out, and there's maybe a myth or belief that it doesn't really help. So kind of talking about the sports sciences, and this is a common thing among football players. Is that a path that you're maybe interested in going in college, or have you picked out anything that you're deciding to maybe look for in your major?
I still haven't really decided if I'm going to play football yet, but I've been applying to a couple colleges for architecture. So.
Oh, wow, architecture.
Yes.
So that involves a lot of mathematics, which I know very little about. But what made you decide that?
I've just always been kind of found designing things fascinating, building stuff. So I've kind of found architecture to be my passion.
Awesome. Well, you have the stage here. You had a great game last week. Anything you maybe want to say to any of your supporters, fans, teammates out there?
Just thank my own line. They helped pave the way for me, and then our tight ends, they also helped with that. And then my running back coach, True Love, he's been helping me out along the way.
Now, what'd you order tonight? Is this your first time out here at George's on the Town?
Yes.
Did you go ahead and get anything by chance?
Not yet. I'm still looking.
Still looking? Yeah. Well, hey, we have plenty of time here, and hey, we're happy that you were able to come on. And now, just talking about looking at the Copper's Cove, have you guys dove deep into how they played last week against Waxahachie, and is there anything that you see that you could maybe take advantage of?
We just kind of been looking at where that we think they have like open space and stuff, and maybe where we can get a couple double teams or something and open up some holes to run through. But other than that, that's really it.
Well, that's part of the key. When it comes down to it, football, even though it has a lot of moving parts, has little simple philosophies that help you be successful. Is there a particular strength of your game that you would like to utilize this season?
I think it's just if you see green grass, you got to go to it and make the most of it. Even if someone comes and you just gotta make do with what you got.
Well, we hope you find a lot of green grass this year, and can't wait to see you the rest of the season.
Thank you.
All right, awesome. That was Ryan Eady and his thoughts on last week's game, thoughts on this upcoming week's game. It is the Georgetown Eagle. It's the Eagle Nation Coaches Show here at George's on the Town. It's a lot of Georges and towns in there now that we finish it on up, but we'll be back with a little bit more here on SHN Sports.
You're ready for the future?
And the future is full of possibilities.
Because your dream home
Is right around the corner.
If you're ready for the next step
Or 2.
or 3,
We can help. At our bank, we're ready to help you open doors to your future.
our mortgage team is here and ready to begin your next step.
Doing the right things for the right reasons.
Welcome to our bank.
You belong here.
Member FDIC Equal Housing.
Team Hewlett, the season is here. Beyond this wall are customers in need of transportation and adventure. Now, we've trained hard, studied every detail, and today's the day we change lives and give our customers the great American dream of the open road. Who's with me? We are Hewlett! We are Hewlett! We are Hewlett!
Find new roads in Georgetown and at DonHewlett.com. Don Hewlett, Texas True.
That's Texas True right there.
All right, we are back at George's on the Town here. It is a Eagle Nation's Coaches Show, first edition from George's on the Town. We're just south of the San Gabriel River, just off of I-35. So if you want to come on out, we invite you out here. We're out here every week on Wednesday at 6 o'clock during the season. They have live music on Thursday nights. They have $10 specials every single day of the week. So go ahead, check out George's on the Town. I'm Carl Schoening, and one of the defensive stars of the week last week joining us, Emmanuel Obina. And, man, you were all over the field against Belton. First game as an Eagle, how was it?
Man, I can't even explain how great it was playing with such a great team. After the first half, we had a little up and down, but then, like, second half, you know Coach Pat, right? Man, and that man, the legend Coach Pat, he devised a great plan for us to come out and execute. And playing with such a great defense, I just love Eagle defense. I love this team so much.
Yeah, y'all were out on the field a lot, especially in that first half. And then in that second half, you were kind of getting a little bit of a rest from the longer runs from the offense. Can you just kind of talk about how the length of that game was? I know you had a couple opportunities there in the first half to really leave your mark, but then the second half, you just shut them out.
Yeah, the first half, because, like, offense was, like, I know they, like, had a couple turnovers, so defense was on, like, at least, like, a lot of time on the first half. So we're just going on and on. Like, there was no break. I was actually gassed. I'm not gonna lie. I was gassed and tired. But the second half, yeah, they started moving the ball a lot, so it made it easier on us. So I was actually able to perform better because I wasn't as tired, like, every play. Yeah, that was just it.
What did Pat the Legend say to you in the locker room?
You know, he didn't even say much.
The G-rated version, if you need to go with it.
Yeah. That man, Pat, he didn't even say much, to be honest. For the first time, I'm not going to lie. He didn't say much. he looked at us, gave us a quick speech. He's like, we've been in this before. We can do this. Like, it's nothing new. Just we have to keep calm, face adversity right in the face, and we came out and did it.
When you look at your football career, where does that rank in terms of comebacks that you've had on your team?
At Stony Point, this was nothing. It happened to us every time. I'm not gonna lie. The first half, if every game would come out slow, would be behind at least like 10 points, 20 points. The second half would come out, the defense would score. Stop them. Second half shutdowns, all that. So I've actually had a lot of comebacks in my life.
Yeah, well, maybe that's why it was so easy for you to come out there. What do you think of those 28-minute halftimes? I know that that's the norm, but without the Georgetown band, I was kind of curious if they would cut it short, and if anything else, it didn't make it longer. But are those 28 minutes of rest pretty good for you guys?
Yeah, it helps us regroup as a team, see what we need to fix. Coach Pat lets us know what we need to do, what we need to do better. What we're doing wrong, all that, and then we just come out and then we see what we need to do and we just execute it.
There's been a lot of change on that defensive side of the ball from last year to this year for the Eagles. How has this group come together, being such a new, different group?
Because I wasn't with the Eagles last year, but I heard they lost a lot of people on defense, so I was just like, as a team, we got to see each other because we don't have like the size they had last year or like the talent like they had last year, but if we can bring each other up, we can accomplish a lot of good things on this team.
You went up against a pretty speedy quarterback last week. What challenges does that pose when you're dealing with a dual threat that really does kind of force you to go sideline to sideline?
Those are probably one of my hardest QBs to guard in my whole life. It's just, as a QB like that, we just have to learn as a defense to contain him in the pocket so he doesn't run out the pocket. That makes us be vulnerable to running side to line. He's able to make plays when you have a fast QB like that. So as a defense, the D-line has to contain him, and then that will help us out a lot on the back end.
We talked about it with Coach. Usually it's a 3-3 stack, but this time we had 4 down linemen. How does that change your job and your role as a linebacker?
It didn't really change much, to be honest, because it was more for the run. So it was just D-line. So we had 4 down linemen, so the D-line could be able to contain. But that didn't go so well, so we had to switch it up a little bit back to 3-3 stack, and then we added more pressure from the sideline blitzes and all that.
Those are fun, right? Whenever you hear the blitz call, you just lick your chops.
I'm like, yes, thank you, Coach.
Yeah, because you know right where you need to go. You don't have to worry about a zone and keeping your head on the swivel or anything like that, right?
Blitzes are my favorite calls.
I imagine especially so after this long delay, what has been maybe the difference of this year when you haven't had the chance to get in pads and then you finally get in pads and you're able to go up against somebody that's not a Georgetown Eagle?
I just know I've been waiting for a long time to hit somebody that wasn't on my team. So being able to go against Belton, I just took out all the frustration and like the weight and all that on them. So it was just good being able to play someone that wasn't someone on my team.
So Coach brought him up. There is a big 6'8" guy that's on the offensive line that you're probably going to have to hit at least once or twice. What's it like going up against those kind of Division I size athletes?
I just think someone with that kind of size and me as a more of an undersized guy against them, I might have to get lower leverage against them. Try to beat them with speed because I know they're big, so I might be able to move quicker and faster than them. Try to beat them around the edge or beat them inside. So that's probably going to be my biggest advantage against going up against big linemen like that.
Definitely. I just noticed you were all over the field. Is there maybe any kind of goal that you have this year as a player to improve in any way? What do you think about this upcoming season?
To improve as a player, I probably need to get my reads better. That's probably my biggest concern right now, so I can get to the play even faster. But overall, as a team, I just want to be a great defense totally. Complete shutdowns. I don't want any of the teams we go against scoring at all as a team. That's my main goal as a linebacker right now for Georgetown.
Now, we know everybody's an offensive coordinator, but the defensive side is a bit more not as common. What's maybe something that you could teach somebody about defense right now on the spot? Like if you could say something that people don't know about playing defense or calling a defensive play that goes into it.
As a defense, I just feel like you have to bring a different mentality to the game. Like you have to be wanting to hit somebody. You can't take it, anymore. You have to be the one to enforce pain against somebody. That's it.
And schematically, like, what is the general role of a linebacker? I know the blitz means go, but is it just the sort of combination of knowing the difference between the zone and who was going to help you with that zone and who you have as a man on a man defense?
As a linebacker, it's like a mix of D-line and DB because you have to be able to take on big blocks from linemen like that and also drop back in coverage and zone as a DB. Be able to cover people that are faster than you and all that. But as a linebacker, you just have to be able to make reads and you have to execute it fast because if you take your time a little bit slow, the play might go behind you and you won't be able to like catch up with it.
What are some of your keys to the game that are important for victory against Copper's Cove on the defensive side of the ball?
Probably doing our job. We're going to have to if we don't execute, well, Coach Pat's been telling us all week, that's the only way they're going to get points scored on us. So we have to be able to spill the ball when we need to. We have to splash it back. We need to know where our help is on each side. So this week we've just been training on knowing each other where we need to stand on the field and all that.
So you told me right before we came on, this is your first interview. How you feel about it? You've done pretty well. I'll tell you that much. Yeah.
I feel great. I like it. I like this. I hope more to come.
Oh, plenty more to come. Yeah, we'll have a sideline reporter down there, and in college they kind of don't allow sideline interviews. We'll talk to Coach about that. Sideline interviews are okay. Maybe get some post game interviews if we don't keep y'all too far from the locker room. Well, thank you so much for coming on, and hey, it's good to see you out there wearing blue.
Yes, I love wearing it. Thank you.
Yeah, well, that's Emmanuel Obina out here helping us out on the Georgetown Eagles Nation Coaches Show here at George's on the Town. I'm Carl Schoening. We'll be back with more here from George's on the Town on SHN Sports. Hey, thank you so much, man.
Team Hewlett, the season is here. Beyond this wall are customers in need of transportation and adventure. Now, we've trained hard, studied every detail, and today's the day we change lives and give our customers the great American dream of the open road. Who's with me? We are Hewlett! We are Hewlett! We are Hewlett!
Find new roads in Georgetown and at DonHewlett.com. Don Hewlett, Texas True.
That's Texas True right there.
You're ready for the future?
And the future is full of possibilities.
Because your dream home
Is right around the corner.
If you're ready for the next step
Or 2.
or 3,
We can help. At our bank, we're ready to help you open doors to your future.
our mortgage team is here and ready to begin your next step.
Doing the right things for the right reasons.
Welcome to our bank.
You belong here.
Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Team Hewlett, the season is here. Beyond this wall are customers in need of transportation.
All right, we're back at George's on the Town. SHN Sports hosting the first at the George's on the Town Eagle Nation Coaches Show. Happy to have the Booster Club president here, Brian Hawkins.
Yep, that's
and,
right.
you know, I always want to call you Brian Dawkins because I'm an 76ers fan. So, you remember Chocolate Thunder used to break the backboards? He was a good player. So I'll try not to make that slip, but hey,
all right.
always happy to have you on here, as it's been customary to have the Booster Club president on at the end of the show. And, hey, what did you think of last week's game?
Well, it was one of those games. Actually, it's funny because I blame us as the parents. I mean, we had an issue with the inflatable, and we can talk about that. So if you were here, you know, the end of last season, we had problems getting the inflatable up or whatever, and so we took it up to who built it, and we thought, well, you know, it's something needs more air in it or something. Long story short, it's just old, needs to be replaced. So we built this like crutch system that goes on it. And we thought we had it all figured out, and then we couldn't get it inflated. I don't know if you noticed. It was like it just crashed on us right before, and it's like we just drug it out of the way and all that. Well, the fan messed up, this or that. Long story short, we take full responsibility for the first half. And I told Coach Griffin this. I was like, it's on us parents. We screwed it up. The dads messed it up. The kids didn't have the big arch to run through, and then they just carried over to the game. But then the second half, if you notice, we got it up. It was up. It was masterful. It looked beautiful, and the kids ran through, and we played a lot better. So we take credit for that as well.
I was about to say, there you go. Yeah,
we might have screwed up the first half, but we also is what happened the second half. I mean, to be honest.
I have not played varsity football, I'll admit that, but that seems to be maybe one of the coolest things, just going right through the tunnel. Who did make the big "No Tiger King Tonight" sign at the beginning?
Now that's the cheerleaders. Yeah, the cheerleaders will help us out. So the way our thing works is there's the arch, and then we got the little tunnel that goes through, and we do the CO2, and the kids run through, and the fog or smoke, whatever you want to call it. But we worked on this. Brad Lachlan is our kind of VP of field ops. His son, that's Cade, number 88 receiver. So his dad and I kind of built this crutch system because we can't get a replacement in by this season. It's 8 to 10 weeks out. So we're like trying to figure something out. So we built this crutch system to help support it, but we lost air is what really happened. So the tunnel is there, and then we had the big arch. And then the cheerleader's the one that does the sign. Yeah, that's the cheerleader parent. So,
I thought that was pretty cool. And, I think running through that is, just as fun, too. But obviously glad that we can go ahead and say that. Okay, so as long as the inflatable works, the Eagles will have a good half. That's a lot of pressure to put on the kids.
So a lot on us, but we'll do it. I can't guarantee it, obviously, but, we're going to try to have a good season. Let's just say that.
Oh, yeah.
With the inflatable and so forth. So we think we got it all figured out, got a new fan in today, and so we're ready to go. I think we'll be ready. So,
yeah. For those of you who don't know much about Booster Club, can you maybe educate the audience as to what happens in a normal, typical week for the Booster Club?
Yeah. So leading up, and again, COVID was a little different in that with everything we could or couldn't do. Normally we do our largest fundraiser is Meet the Eagles, and it was normally that's in the cafeteria. We'll have about 1,000 people, and we were restricted to only have half, so it was going to be 500. So we moved it outside. We were really worried because we also do a golf tournament about in March. Actually, it was April, and that got canceled on us. So we were already behind the 8 ball on fundraising for the funds and all that. And so Meet the Eagles, we were nervous, and we had a great group that got together. We did it and raised over $30,000, which is, a little less than what we had done last year, but considering COVID and all that, we were really, really happy with it. We have a lot of great parents that give and their time and effort and so forth. So anyway, we got through Meet the Eagles. So on a normal week, we'll have a booster meeting on Monday nights. And on that, the best thing about that is we have Coach Griffin's committed. The coaches, they'll come on. I know you were there this Monday. The coaches will come on, and they'll do the sub-varsity games, which you'll have highlights from the freshman A game, B game, or blue-white, and then the silver-blue and silver JV games. So we try to get parent involvement at a younger age, the sub-varsity and so forth, and then we'll see Coach Griffin will talk about the varsity game and then what we can expect. So that's kind of a Monday night. Tuesday, we like to say, that's your off night, or you can go watch sub-varsity or watch middle school games. We got Benold and Forbes. And then tonight we have this. Tomorrow night we'll have sub-varsity at the stadium, and then Friday we'll have the game. So on a home game, what we'll do is we will host a tailgate out at where we are kind of, if you're familiar with the stadium, it's on the south end out there by baseball. We have a tailgate site that we share.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So for Meet the Eagles, our cook crew, I got part of it. I know Greg was out there. Kyle Herman helped. We stayed out there all night and cooked. We cooked over 80 pork butts and did for Meet the Eagles because it's, we do what we can and serving the food and then all that. So what we'll do for this is I think this week's going to be hamburgers and chips and so forth. So we'll have a tailgate right there. We'll start serving food about 5 o'clock before the game. Again, it's kind of bumped up because of the parent night.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I highly encourage anybody, varsity son or not, it's a really, really cool deal because Coach Griffin gets them, they're in their locker room and they dress and they walk through the middle of our tailgate. And we'll try to have the drum line there and the cheerleaders are there, and it's really, really cool deal. They, the players walk through, they're carrying their helmets and shoulder pads, and it is just a really cool deal to see, kind of see the kids and wave at them and give them high fives and all that as they go onto the stadium to prepare for the game. So we'll do that. I think they'll be walking through 5:45 or so about is when that'll happen. But we'll start serving food at 5 o'clock. Again, it's donations, so, it's a burger if you don't mind throwing something in there. We try to cover the cost so that it doesn't cost the Booster Club anything. We try to save our money to give to the program. And then on a weekend, we'll do coaches' meals. We provide coaches' meals for the coaches while they're up there scouting, doing all that on the weekends. Also, Thursday night, we do a team meal for the varsity team. They do a team meal, and then we have breakfast tacos. So basically, everything we do is just trying to increase the experience for the kids. I had a older son that went through the program. He's done. He's playing college football now, but I have a younger son that's a junior, and it's all about trying to create the best experience for them. And we have great parents. I know you mentioned that. To raise the raise the money. We gave over $50,000 for the weight room last year, and whatever we can do to make the program better, we just help Coach Griffin in that aspect. So
awesome. Yeah. So that is a major thing to point out that there will be tailgating this year.
There will. Yeah. It's one of those. Maybe it's a don't ask, don't tell. We'll try to practice social distancing. As adults, we're on our own. We wear a mask and all that. But yeah, we'll have tailgating. We'll have burgers and fries, and every week it's something different. On the road games, what we'll do is we'll find a location. We found a great place downtown. Again, talking about Lachlan, his dad had gone to high school to Belton, found a place that we had our tailgate at, and it was outstanding. It was like this, open air, overlooking. Yeah, Scores was the name of it. Yeah, I'd like to give them credit because it was outstanding. We had a great time. The Edie's were there, and we filled the entire balcony about this size, and it kind of overlooked. So we try to get together on road games. We'll find a place and all that. So anyway, we have a good time. Yeah.
So how can people who maybe are just supporters of the Georgetown High School and the Eagles get involved with the Booster Club? I definitely wanted to plug the shirts.
Well,
you can never have enough blue.
No, never enough blue. This is like a member shirt. So we have memberships that the parents are part of, and then what that does is the minimum membership is $10. That gets them on our email distribution list. And then from there, Julie Edie's our VP of Communication. She gets emails out throughout the week, does a great job communicating what's going on and all that. So through them, we have an outstanding website, georgetownfootball.com. Go check it out. There are forms, and you can reach out to us. It's got our email address and all that. So any way you can get involved, we love it. I know George's is outstanding. They donated a team meal. So, again, I told you Thursday nights we're doing team meals, and these guys – we got an email from them. They said, we want to help in any way we can. So they donated a team meal. Again, we're feeding the football team, which is approximately 75. We feed the trainers, the cheerleaders that night, and then our coaches. So it's about 100 people, and as parents, we pay for that. Again, not out of the Booster Club. We donate the money to do that. But George has donated that, and this is outstanding that they were able to do this. I really want to give them a plug for this. So it's great. Yeah.
Oh, we love it, and we were definitely, especially as we were talking about, as you were saying a moment ago, looking for an open air venue, and this is just such a nice kind of patio overlooking a meadow over here. It's great. And kind of shifting gears a little bit differently, this is such a different season. What have maybe been some of the harder issues for not only yourself, but just a parent in general during these times to make sure that these kids can still go through and have their football season?
I know they're wearing face masks. They wear them on the sideline and all that. It really, it's as the trainers, Chad Hennessy's the head trainer, and he's done a good job with kind of corralling the kids and get them face covering. And the whole deal, with COVID, we're all, if it's as bad as they say, we're all going to get it eventually, So we're just thankful that we are able to play a football season. I mean, to be quite honest, and what's got us here, and again, my son that is older, they canceled their season. He's in the Mountain West, plays for a team and they canceled. Now they're going to let them play, but we're just thankful as parents because I had a daughter she was a senior last year, played volleyball. She got through her season, but then those kids messed the entire spring. They didn't have a prom. Graduation, they were able to figure it out. So we as parents are willing to do whatever we have to. We wear masks. We wear masks. Whatever we have to do to play for these kids. I mean, I said football is the hardest thing because they go the entire year. I mean, they basically have off maybe a month or two is it, and then you're in all-season training, and that's just for a guaranteed, this year, 9 games. I mean, if you don't get the playoffs. So whatever we can do as parents to help them with that, and that means wear a mask, not wear a mask, whatever. So those are the real challenges, I guess, in this time, just the uncertainty and all that. And we appreciate the UIL allowing, and, they're the ones that have the rules in place that you have to wear a mask if you're in the stands or whatever. So, yeah.
Yeah, it must have been heartbreaking for those kids who had a senior year during baseball season, right as it got going, canceled.
Canceled,
Yeah, obviously all the NCAA basketball players who just missed their entire March Madness and so on and so forth. So, but, we're definitely super excited. It is UIL rule to wear face covering in the stadium, even while seated, except for while eating or drinking, correct?
So I'll tell them I go to the concession stand and get a drink, and you hold it in your hand. If you got that thing gets hot and all that, kind of hold the drink. Somebody comes up to approach you, I guess you could say, well, I'm drinking, So, but yeah, we really do appreciate the UIL. I know you look across the board in the United States, we are lucky being the state of Texas that we are playing football. I mean, there's a number of places that aren't or whatever, or if you don't have a mat, I don't know if you saw the video in Ohio, you better put your mask on, you're going to get tased.
Oh, wow, I did see that. That one,
so,
that's how it goes. Just please wear a mask. It's for the safety of yourself and others and all those things. And, exactly. It's a little different this year, but it's not too different. It's still what is it, 120 yards by 50 yards football field, still 10 yards.
Still
and nothing's really changed in those aspects.
I think that the tickets, they go on sale Monday morning. You can get those up to 10. That's through the GISD website. So I think they're selling half the capacity. We're lucky our stadium holds about 12,000. So I think they're selling about 6, which is probably work out about 5 on the home side and 1,000 visitors. So, and we did the same thing, buying tickets through Belton. Everything's online. So I don't think we're selling any at the stadium. So
game day, there's no sales,
no
right?
on-sale sales is what I've heard. So if you need tickets, GISD's website, you want to go there and go ahead and get your tickets. I know we got ours first thing Monday morning when they went on sale. So,
Yeah, and if they're sold out, obviously, you can just go out catch every game here on SHN Sports.
Which is outstanding. Yeah, we really, really appreciate you guys doing that. I know we did a sponsorship, but I think it's another great thing that the UIL did, allowing y'all to do video and audio.
Yes, because it was only audio Friday nights live.
Yeah, normally it was audio. Yeah, but anyway, we can't say thanks enough to Rob and yourself, Carl, that the support we get from you guys. And I know I have parents that live in Huntsville, and they're able to watch the game, and they were on, and I got a brother that couldn't be at a game, so it's outstanding. Yeah,
we're excited. It's funny. When I started this business with Rob Hipp, who was the voice of the Eagles for a while before me, he and I said 5 years from now everybody's going to be doing this, and no idea how right we were.
Yeah, you are. Well, I think it's a testament to you guys because you put a great product out there, and you allow us as parents and all that, and just what you do. I know we're fortunate because Rob's a former Eagle graduate, which is we love being the guinea pig for you guys, but it is outstanding. And then this year y'all being able to do audio and video, it's really, really good deal. So
and we're happy to do it. We love supporting Georgetown ISD. We also do the Eastview games if you're just a fan of Georgetown area football, and it's going to be great. So any closing remarks here before we head on to Copper's Cove?
Yeah, we're excited about the game. Again, come out to tailgate. It's open. Don't think if you don't have a child that play. I see the pledges here. They're some of our best supporters. I know they don't miss a thing. They're there front and center Monday at the booster meeting. They're always here for this. We love the pledges. Glad they're here. So, again, you don't have to have a son on the team or anything like that. We're open to anybody. Just come on out and enjoy being an Eagle and supporting the Eagles. That's what we ask.
Yes, so happy that you don't have to be related to any of the players to go out there. So be sure to buy your tickets on Monday when they go on sale on – do you know the website?
It's if you do a search for GISD, I apologize. I don't know that we have a link, but our site is georgetownfootball.com. We can get a link up there every Monday morning. We'll do that. So that's easy enough. We have Norbert Flores. His son's I see him back there. He's an offensive lineman. His son does Norbert's his dad, and he maintains our website for us and all that. So, yep. I thought, I take direction. That's Miss Edie over there. It's like she'll tell me when I messed up or whatever. So, we have a great group that support. And again, we're just doing what we can for the kids and any way we can support Coach Griffin and all that. So
if you haven't heard of Google.com, you can search that on another website. That'll eventually lead you to where you need to go. If you search Georgetown Eagles tickets. I'm sure sometimes, I don't know if you have the same issue as me, but I look up Georgetown football and it takes me to the Hoyas over Georgetown University.
Yeah. You know what's funny about that is, we have a Twitter page and we get DM'd kids videos all the time. They're, hey, coach, look at me. And it's like, sorry, wrong site. If you're a high school kid and want to come to Georgetown, Texas and play football, we'll look at you. Yeah. So anyway, I know what you mean.
It's always great. Well, thank you so much for your time, and thank you for everything you do with the Booster Club. It's obviously behind the scenes, but very important nonetheless.
Yeah. Well, thank you, and we again appreciate everything y'all do for us. Thanks, SHN. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's Brian Hawkins, not Dawkins.
Yeah, Hawkins. There you go. You never messed up. Good job.
My brain wants me to mess up.
Well, you didn't.
Because it goes to the first term of that. But so thank you so much for your time. And, hey, thank you guys for tuning in here. Thank you all for coming out. We had a packed house out here on the patio.
Yeah, this is great. Let's get more people out here. Perfect.
Hey, and if it is something that you guys, ever a situation where you guys cannot make the game on Friday nights, they will be live streaming the Georgetown football games here at the restaurant. So that'll be great too.
Yeah.
So Georgia's on the town, true supporters of Georgetown ISD Athletics and the Georgetown Eagle football team. So we're happy that you guys able to come out. Coppers Cove pregame starts at 6:30 from Birkelback Stadium. Birkelback Field at Georgetown ISD Athletic Stadium. So
there you go. Yeah, that's a mouthful.
It is. Always got to make sure I differentiate the field and the stadium. There's two different names there. So So thank you all for tuning in on YouTube. Thanks to everybody who came out. Don't forget to buy a membership shirt, $10, so you can get some new blue into your wardrobe.
There you go.
Stay safe, everybody. Can't wait to see y'all Friday. Thanks to Nathan Height for helping us out.
Thanks, Nathan.
And we'll see y'all next time. Wednesdays, 6 o'clock here at Georgia's on the Town. All right.
And we're clear.
All right, thanks, Mark. I got to find out if your dad.